There's a lot of great things happening at Tennessee Athletics.
I believe this city is going to be upside down tonight.
Season-long party continues on Rocky Top.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. You know what time it is. Our guest today is so fascinating, and I am so excited for you all to hear from her today. She is a sophomore forward who has already been named SEC Offensive Player of the Week and netted 6 goals so far this season. She has international experience with the Women's Jamaican National Team, being called up from U17 to U20 to the senior team, and then to finally making Team Jamaica's roster for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup at only 19 years old. Y'all, she is the real deal, and she's here to talk with us today. Please welcome Cameron Simmons. Cameron Simmons,
yes.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you on. I was your biggest hype woman back home during the World Cup, but before we get to that, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
Can you give everybody listening just a little bit of background about yourself
Sure.
and how you grew up and your family and
Okay.
soccer, of course?
Yes, of course. So I was born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. I lived there all throughout my life. I was first born of 4 kids, my parents, and I had a very, very good childhood, honestly. Like I just was surrounded by so much love, and I had a lot of friends. And then my brothers came along. My oldest younger brother is 16, 3 years younger than me, so we were pretty close in age, and we hung out a lot. And then I was 7 years older than the younger two, the twins. So obviously us all being super active in soccer, we all just kind of got along and started playing around 12, which is pretty late if you think about it. I mean, a lot of the girls I play with in club or just a national team, they've been playing since like 2, 3, 4.
Since they could walk.
Yeah, I picked it up pretty late just because my dad, that was his career. He was always around the game he played. He had a business that was soccer specific technical training, and I was always there. I just never picked it up. I never enjoyed it until I watched the 2015 Women's World Cup, and I was like, okay, wait
a second.
look at all those people there watching them. And then that was when I kind of decided, I was like, okay, let me just take this serious a little bit. And ever since then, just kind of went running with it, and it took a little bit of time to kind of catch up, obviously, to the top level at the age. But once I did, I just continued to work at it, and then was obviously able to get to where I am with soccer now.
It worked out pretty well
It
for
did.
you.
Yeah. But I just have an amazing support system with my family. They're so supportive everywhere I go. Even when I was in Australia, my dad was there. Or even little things like schoolwork, my parents are always checking in, like, did you get this done? How's your body feel? How's your mind? I just feel like having that type of support system definitely allows me to do all the things that I do now at the level that I do it. So
let's talk a little bit about your dad and your grandfather too,
Yes.
because they have a pretty deep history in the Jamaica soccer world.
My grandfather, he played in Jamaican State and lived there. He played for the national team. I'm not sure that there were any major competitions, but he was a part of that pool. And then my dad started around U15 with the Jamaican national team and was with them and continued to grow. But then he did move to the States. He moved in with my great aunt and uncle in Maryland, where he attended Sherwood High School, and he played there, got recruited to Howard University. There were some other schools that wanted him, but my uncle that he moved in with was a professor at Howard, and so that he went there. All his cousins, he had teammates that came up from Jamaica as well. They all played there together. And so it was kind of a no-brainer. He wanted to be with what he was comfortable with, and he has he's a league goal scorer in history there, still holds that title. I don't even know how many years, but he's pretty old now. So he played there alongside his cousins and his best friends, and he had the best 4 years of his life, and then decided that he was going to go play pro. They were both within the Jamaica Football Federation, and that's why it's just kind of amazing to kind of come full circle with me and then my younger brother now.
So can you talk to me too about your brothers? Because soccer runs really deep, not just with your father and his father, but
Yes.
also all of the kids
Yes.
and all of the siblings. So talk to me about how it was growing up with the four of you guys playing soccer.
Yeah, so my younger brother, Nicholas, who is now 16, he picked up the game pretty early. Like he always loved it. I didn't. So as I, said earlier, but that was his thing. I mean, he was amongst the best boys at his age and he loved it. Him and I would go play and I just wasn't taking it serious. But, once I did, he definitely challenged me. I mean, he was just so intelligent. He read the game so well. I mean, he had these amazing foot skills. But, little boys, they don't know kind of like, I think his biggest weakness was kind of, I wouldn't say effort, but just kind of knowing when to kind of take it seriously.
Sure, the maturity part of it,
exactly.
Which he's young anyways, so
Exactly.
it makes sense, right?
Exactly. And so that was one of the things that my dad would get on him for, because my dad's biggest thing is like, if you're not going to work hard, we're going home, it's done.
Yeah.
Because, he, in his youth career, his thing was he didn't have the resources that my brothers and I had growing up, as far as, mentorship and, resources just get better and practice and play and improve your touch. And so, now that we do have this, his thing was like, if you're going to take it serious, then do it. If you say you want to do this and you don't put in the effort day in and day out, cut
It's
it.
done.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to put my money into it and I'm not going to put my time and effort if you guys aren't going to take it serious. So to have each other for that is a huge deal. We're just kind of like besties in this thing, and I, adore him, and same likewise, I'm sure.
Do you have any fond memories with him of like playing in the backyard or like, taking a ball out after dinner? Or is there one that sticks out to you in particular?
I would think, we had a trampoline that had a net. And so if you think about trampolines, they have these poles that kind of go up. And so we would kind of section each pole as a goal. And so all four of us would kind of go out there and just play soccer. We're just tackling each other, jumping all over the place. That was fun. But in all seriousness, like any off day that we had, any holiday, him, my dad, and I would all go out to the nearest field and we would just do a full-on training session. Him and I would go at each other 1v1. We have a video of like I kind of dribbled past him and he just put all his strength and pushed me so, and because now he's bigger than me. He's like 6'4"
He's
now.
not little brother.
No, not like he once was. He was younger than me. I was pushing him around, but now he is a big dude. And I was
Just straight up checked you.
Yeah, just body checked me. I was like,
give me a second, just 1 second.
Yeah. So, there's plenty more, but those two just kind of stick out to me. Just good memories. Yeah.
And can you talk to me too just about your mom? Because I know that she, keeps you guys grounded and is that person that you go to for a lot of things. So just what's your relationship like with her?
I just know I wouldn't be able to function without my mom. Like, that is just not
Felt
a question.
that.
No, like any little thing I do, like I'm walking from class and like, okay, let's call mom.
Call mom.
Yeah. Or, if I don't have time to call her, I'm putting down in my notes topics that I need to talk about with mom.
So you don't forget. That's so funny.
No, because she's just everything. I feel like her wisdom and maturity is something that has really, reflected on me and the way I kind of go about things. I grew up watching her. She just carries herself with just poise and like elegance, and that is just something that I want to be exactly like her. And she's just all about business. She knows what she always puts the family first. Always, like that's never a question. And just to work with someone like my dad, who is so like decisive and he wants this that way, and she's always just that person that like, okay, let's
decompress.
Yes,
let's
weigh.
process.
Yeah, let's weigh the options. Let's look at all the factors involved, and I just think it's a perfect balance. For the decisions and the sacrifices that we've had to make they've had to make, especially my mom. Like I said before, I want nothing more than to just make her and my dad proud, and every lesson that they taught me and example they set, I want to be able to show that in the real world and everything I do. So.
That's so special. Can I be part of the family?
Of course. Of course.
So now I want to transition to the elephant in the room. We kind of hinted at it a little earlier. 2023 FIFA World Cup.
Yes.
You played on Team Jamaica, but the process to get you there was lengthy. It started years prior. Can you take me back to the national teams that you were on, getting called up until the moment that your name got put on the roster?
In September was when I was called up to the first senior team. And we went to South Korea, played South Korea twice. I was like, wait, what? You know, I mean, the jump. I mean, when I heard, okay, yeah, you're with the senior team now, I was like, okay, like, this is exciting. But then I got there and then we played in the stadium, and I was
all
like,
hits you.
oh my gosh, that was the first time. I mean, just in training, and I saw the professionalism, the level, just how everyone carried themselves, the staff, the players. I was in awe, and I was like, oh yeah, this is it. You know, I want to be a part of this forever. You know, I mean, we had a camp in Jamaica the week prior. They said, okay, everyone's coming together. This is going to be the last camp. We'll announce the roster 2 days after. Maybe it was 3, but soon after. And so I stayed in Jamaica with my mom and my grandma and my cousin, just because, you know, get a little vacation in and see family and just hang out a little bit. But I was actually at the beach in Montego Bay, on the beach, like in the sand, when I looked at my phone to a text from Giselle, actually, who's on the team here, and she was like, oh my gosh, congrats. And I'm like, wait, no.
Pause,
yeah, I know.
Oh
I was like, no, like, this can't be. And then looked at my phone and saw the roster and just, oh my gosh, threw a fit on the beach. Everyone's like, what's wrong with her? But no, but it was just an incredible time, and my grandma was there, and for her she lives in Jamaica, so a lot of the big moments that I've had, she hasn't been there to experience. So for her to be there, I mean, just the excitement that she had, it was just so special, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
So what'd you do after? Did you just lay your feet in the water and just chill? Or, I mean, how do you celebrate after finding that out?
We just kind of chilled for the rest of the day, I guess. You know, I called my dad, and the connection was terrible, but we still called each other, and I could just see his excitement, just screaming, and then my brothers, and it just called my other grandma, and it was a whirlwind, but it was a very, very special moment.
I want to talk a little bit too about all of the obstacles and all of the hurdles this team had to go through to even get to the World Cup stage. There were a lot of struggles financially. You guys had to raise a GoFundMe to even get the money to get you guys to Australia. I want to quote this correctly, but Midge Purse said I believe on their podcast, you would never expect a flower to bloom without water, but women in sports have been denied water, sunlight, and soil are somehow still expected to blossom. You spoke about it publicly too on your Instagram. Can you just talk to me about what was going on and the attitude and the importance that you guys wanted to send a message?
Yeah, so basically it was just a lot of unkept promises, a lot of resources that were not provided that, you know, should have been, and costs like bags and all that stuff, and travel and accommodations. It was just a lot of things that would be expected that just weren't provided. But, you know, we did come out with the statement as a team just to kind of say, you know, we've qualified for the World Cup a second time. Things have not gotten that much better, but, you know, we want to just make it known that we are still going to go, and we're still going to do our best despite not having, you know, the opportunities and the resources that, you know, are necessary. But I will say that, you know, after that, we did get a lot of recognition from nationally everywhere, articles, like podcasts, everyone. And that was kind of what we wanted, because for us as women to see what it takes, obviously on the men's side, we see what they get. We see the resources and the money poured into them to play at the level that we're playing at. You know, we are at the world's greatest stage. This is the World Cup. And so it was just something that we definitely had to fight for, and we did. And I will say we did get some good out of it, and still building, obviously. But I mean, that was just kind of the struggles that kind of came from that. But
how empowering too to all come together and then see the community on social, articles being written, it being talked about during the broadcast, that you guys did it and you made it happen for yourselves.
I mean, one thing, you can't just ask and not perform. You know, like, one thing about it was we went to the World Cup and defied so many odds. We got it out the group stage. We won our first game ever in history. We tied the first game ever in history. And so that, despite, you know, all of the noise in the background, I mean, that just shows what we can do without all of the things that are necessary. Right.
And just imagine what we could be given the proper resources.
Right.
So now, we just talked about it a little bit, but I want to get more into depth of Team Jamaica's performance at the World Cup. Group F with Brazil and
Yeah.
France and Panama. Wasn't an
Yes.
easy group to
No,
be in.
no.
Not at all. And you started off with France and you
Yes.
drew with them.
Yes.
And for people who don't know, when you draw, you still get a point.
Yes.
And that was Team Jamaica's first
Yes.
point ever. How exciting was
oh my
that?
Gosh. I mean, obviously going in and training, we would talk about this is what needs to happen. If we want to make it through, we're going to need a draw against France and we're going to need a win. And we're probably going to need a draw against Brazil at least, just because we knew that those are heavyweight teams in the world, like top
Yeah.
10, both of them. And it was just incredible to obviously get the opportunity to play them, but knowing we have to still work. We have to still get a result if we want to continue this journey in the World Cup. And so after that first point, you wouldn't even imagine like the confidence it gave us and the boost it gave us, because we had just come from Amsterdam. There was drama with the flights and how to get to Australia. And so
what a
for us to get there and get that first draw against France was just something we were like, is everyone kind of paying attention now? Like we got, we
Right.
can do this, and we got it. And oh my gosh, just to be there first, I mean, it was just incredible.
Then a week later, you guys get Team Jamaica's first win
Yes.
against Panama 1-0. How exciting was that moment?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like every athlete, the favorite part about being an athlete is the celebrations with your team for goals, for wins, for points, whatever it is. So, I mean, just us playing, and also we had so much confidence coming off of France. So
Absolutely.
we're like, we got this. If
Yes.
we can just play our game and we go in and get this 3 points for the first time, it'll be huge. And so, I mean, I just remember I was warming up and then we scored the goal, and all of us girls that were on the sideline warming up just sprinted over and just everyone is screaming. And it was just, oh my gosh, I will say that. And I would say when we found out we went through, it was just the proudest moments of literally my entire life. Like, it was just incredible.
Then the next week, you guys play Brazil
Yeah.
and you draw with them
Yeah.
to get you guys out of the group stages for the first time going to the knockout round. Another huge moment for this team.
Yes. I mean, going into that game, we knew, that being our last game, we said we need at least a draw.
Yeah.
And we knew that Brazil needed to win. And so obviously for 90 minutes, that's a battle. That's a dogfight. We can't let them score. If we have to hold on, we have to fight, and we have to grind this whole entire time, and probably going to even go overtime. And we did. I'm pretty sure there was like 8 extra minutes past the 90, and we're like, just blow the whistle, please.
end the
Please
game
end the game now. Like, this can be it.
Oh.
But no, when that whistle blew, I just remember there's like a border behind the goal of like some sponsors or whatever, and I just jumped over and then immediately fell to my knees and just lost it, because I just couldn't even believe we just did that.
Yeah.
The history that was made and everything.
Exactly. I was just going to say, a historic run for Team Jamaica. How special was it that you got to be a part of that moment?
Oh my gosh, it was everything, because watching them in 2019 and losing every game and just scoring one goal, just watching them score a goal was so liberating and like inspiring. And then now I'm on the team and we didn't lose a game in the group stage, and so it's just incredible. And my dad and my grandma were in the stands and they're just waving their flags, and oh my gosh, it was just a full circle moment. I just remember after the game, like finding my dad, and we just hugged each other and cried, and it was just everything.
You're going to make me
I
cry
know.
over here.
I know. Just thinking back, I'm like, okay, we lock it. Okay, get it together.
That's so
but yeah.
special. For you, stepping onto the grass for the first time
Yeah.
in the match against Panama,
Yeah.
what was going through your head?
Honestly, I'm like, the whole time I was there, I was obviously living in the moment, knowing that I'm playing under world-class, like Ballon d'Or nominee Bunny Shaw. And so I knew that this was my opportunity to develop and take in all the information and experience that I can for, years to come, when, maybe the time might be mine. And so I knew, but then actually getting in, I was like, okay, this is me now. And I was wanted to get in so bad. I mean, it's one thing to make the World Cup team and to be there, but to actually feel the grass under my feet and be out there and make a couple runs and build up a sweat, it was so special. And
You mentioned Bunny Shaw, somebody who I don't know if everybody knows was a former Lady Vol here at the University of Tennessee. How was it learning and training with her, knowing that you guys shared such similar experiences?
No, absolutely. I mean, we also played the same position, and so I mean, her knowing kind of where I came from and me knowing where she came from, we kind of had a connection on the field, and she would help after training and just get in extra reps and put us through some drills that they would do at Man City, which is one of the best pro teams for men's and women's in England and in the world. And so, I mean, she's a great captain. I mean, I would say she was just an amazing captain as far as making sure that everyone was good. And I mean, there are young players. There was me and Soleil, who was 17 and 18, and I'm 19, and so I mean, she just made sure that we were getting what we needed and not to be too overwhelmed by the opportunity, but just to get better and remember what we're here for. And that was just so helpful.
And then you turn around and you come back to the States and the season's ramping up for soccer. What do you think was the biggest takeaway for you from the World Cup now going into your second season here?
Yeah, so I think, I mean, all throughout my youth career, I mean, just going back to when I mentioned I started later, I lacked confidence almost all the time. And that was one of my things. Like, the mental side of the game was a huge struggle for me at times, just because I felt like I was always behind. For that, I mean, coming off of the World Cup, that was kind of the moment where I was like, okay, maybe I am kind of good, and maybe I do kind of got this, and so to be able to come back, that just gave me the boost that I needed. And obviously I've talked to sports psychologists, I've talked to coaches and my family and people that have gone through it, and I feel like that moment really solidified for me to believe it, because I always loved the game. Like, I never was sad or down about it, but I mean, that moment was just something that was a turning point for me, and I was just able to come back and embody that for sure.
Did you feel so much love when you came back to campus from coach, from all of your teammates?
I mean, before games, the team would send me either a video of like, good luck, Cam, or they even put together a little production song. Like, they did this little routine, and I just felt so much love, even from the girls that, I hadn't met, but just because we have such a good team dynamic and a family here, I was still feeling the love, and even from people not on the team, from other sports and other coaches and just students that I was able to meet last year. I just felt so much love, and I was honestly excited to come back and be on Rocky Top just because of that. I never felt like not seen, so it was very, very special.
Okay, so
yes,
moving on to our more fun section.
Okay,
we chatted.
Yeah, we did, and unfortunately
Omari and Kiki took like the two things that you were excited to talk about, fashion and reading, but we're really into interior design as well, which I feel like is kind of similar in the world of like fashion and stuff too.
For sure.
I know we talked to that you didn't see Barbie, which I'm gonna tell you again, you gotta go see it. It's very good.
It's on the list. Trust me.
I know you're so busy. Like, I mean,
no, Barbie's worth it. I need to make time.
Yes. Whenever you need a good girls' night, you and some of the teammates should go
100%.
and go watch Barbie. But I wanted to pull up some of the dream houses that BuzzFeed made because they made an entire list of all the different Barbie dream houses that were themed for all the different states.
Okay.
And I want you to look at them, and I want you to tell me what you like, what you don't like,
Okay.
what's your vibe.
Okay.
It'll be fun. I promise.
It will be super
I promise.
fun. I'm excited. Oh, here we go.
Okay. Tennessee.
Okay.
Oh.
I personally think this one is really, really cute.
It's so cute.
I mean, I love the yard, because one thing about me, I love a good yard.
Yes, and the white picket fence around it, so cute.
The white picket fence, the details in the roof, the windows, the front door. I love a porch because, I mean, at home, I like to just go outside a lot, and whether I'm eating or reading, whatever, I like to be outside, so I love the porch. But I think the overall, like, you can see the trees, there's some bushes. I think the outside of this is super, super cute.
I do too, and I think if you just put that right on the river here in Knoxville, I'd move in tomorrow.
Oh, yeah,
so,
me too.
Fair.
Perfect. Okay. If you ask me, okay, Cameron, where would you love to live? I would say Washington, Seattle. I just think the vibe there is so chill, and I love the nature there. So seeing this house completely match that, I think.
Okay. And I like it too because it's
Yeah.
very like there's different, I mean, I don't really know what am I trying to say, like a forestry or like what it is here, but I like it, all the different kinds of
Yeah.
plants and trees, and it's like almost got a little bit of a cottage vibe.
Yes,
but
cottage vibe.
yeah,
I love that. You can see
yeah.
the chimney and
Yes.
yeah.
I like it.
I like it a lot too. You
Yes.
see the porch. Yeah, I love my porch.
She loves her. Yeah.
I need a porch.
We're gonna have a porch. Yep.
Must have a porch. What was another one?
Okay.
Oh, I think.
Connecticut. You've got a theme here. That gives me the Washington vibes too.
Exactly. Like I love to be able to be surrounded by some greenery and like you said,
Yes.
forestry and just a little porch. Sorry, I just
Yes.
have to mention the porch. And the pumpkins, like I just think I love fall, first of all.
Me too.
I think
Yep.
it's my favorite. And the leaves and the different colored trees and just
And there's charm. Like this house and the
100%.
Washington one has charm, character, a little Victorian, but not full blown.
Exactly.
I love it. I'm right there with you.
exactly.
Yes.
I love this. Here it is.
New York.
New York.
New
Honestly,
York.
now this doesn't align with my previous theme.
Fair.
Fair. But I do think, I mean, when I just saw this, I thought it was so cute because, I mean, just look at it. I mean, look at everything that's going on.
Yes. If I could
mean,
have a New York City penthouse, I would too.
yeah.
Like, just
If
to
it could look like
visit.
that.
It doesn't have to be a full-time residency.
No.
It's just when you want to go to the city, you have a place to stay.
Exactly.
It's so cute. And
It's
if
so
I had the
cute.
money to, I
Oh my
would
gosh.
tomorrow.
I mean, I don't think I could live in New York.
Not full-time.
Not full-time, right,
No,
right.
no.
Right. But I just felt like this is so cute. And when you watch all the movies and the TV shows.
It's kind of giving Eloise. Did you watch that? Okay,
I
yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. No, I completely agree with you.
Yes.
So, Cam, before I let you go,
Yes.
my last question for you is: when you sing Rocky Top, do you woo?
I do.
You do.
I have to.
Why is that?
Because I mean, you can't sing Rocky Top without woo. It is Rocky Top, you know? So, I mean, whenever you sing it with the team or at a football game, that is literally the best part, in my opinion.
100%.
I mean, my opinion.
And that's all you have to say. That's it.
Perfect.
So fair.
Thank you.
Well, Cam, thanks so much for joining me
Yes,
on this
thank you.
episode of the podcast. This was so much fun,
had so
and
much
I
fun.
cannot wait to cheer you guys on at your next match.
Thank you so much. I had the best time ever. Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Everything Orange. As always, be sure to follow us on all of our Vol Sports platforms so you don't miss out on a single update. But before we go, here's a look at everything going on with Tennessee athletics, starting with tonight. Soccer takes on the Florida Gators at 7 p.m. in Regal Soccer Stadium, which is where you can find Cameron Simmons in case you're wondering. On Friday, men's tennis starts its 3-day Big 12 SEC Challenge in Stillwater, Oklahoma, while the women's tennis team starts its 4-day Wolfpack Classic in Cary, North Carolina. Then on Saturday, football takes on UTSA at 4 p.m. in Neyland Stadium. And y'all, I just have to say, it's really starting to feel like fall out. There's just this crisp breeze in the air, and Saturday is going to be a glorious day to watch some Tennessee football. On Sunday, volleyball is on the road for a potential top 25 matchup against Kentucky. Such a huge match for this team. The Lady Vols have not gotten the win over the Wildcats since 2016, so I will most definitely be tuning in to cheer them on this weekend. Also on Sunday, soccer is traveling down to Columbia, South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks, which will hopefully be one of 2 wins over South Carolina next week, if I might add. And lastly, on Monday, men's golf starts its 3-day SEC Fall Preview in Birmingham, Alabama, while men's tennis starts a week-long ITF competition in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Well, that's a wrap on Rocky Top. Tune in next Thursday for another episode of Everything Orange. Bye, y'all.